Jason Nathanson.
Good morning, and that was one of actually the biggest surprises. You think of John Hamm in Mad Men, and you go, okay, yeah, sure, he deserves to win awards. That show does win awards, but the Golden Globes, as we saw with all the other TV categories, they give it to people nobody's ever heard of. So for John Hamm to actually win, huge surprise.
All right, can we stop with the I'm offended over Ricky Gervais? These people love to be called out by Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, I'd actually like to stop with him in his whole shtick of like, look how bad I am, because I thought that was just a little. Stop telling us how bad you are and telling the audience to shut up and just be funny. Because this year, I don't think he had some. He did have some really funny stuff. He really skewered Ben Affleck right before Matt Damon was about to present, and he introduces him as the only person that Ben Affleck has ever been faithful to, Matt Damon, and that was such a great moment because Matt Damon had no idea what to do. It just threw him.
Right.
But a lot of it was just, look how bad I am. And, that got a little old.
But, I mean, this is what you get when you hire somebody like Ricky Gervais. You get someone who is offensive.
Absolutely. And I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, in the past, he's been funnier. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler have also been funnier, so I just want a little more funnier. I'm okay with the mean. I'm okay with skewering Hollywood. That's great. I like that. And given what we're gonna get in the upcoming award shows that are for the next month, that are gonna be boring, and predictable, I like this more. I'd like to tweak it a little bit.
I watched The Big Short over the weekend, and then I found out at the Golden Globes that it was a comedy.
First of all, it's a horror movie, The Big Short. It's fantastic. It's my favorite movie of the year, but it's the scariest movie of the year. And the fact that this whole category, really, for The Big Short to be in comedy is just ludicrous. For Joy to be in comedy, for The Martian to be in comedy. The only comedies here are Spy and Trainwreck. And honestly, Trainwreck I thought should have won if you're just looking for a funny film. But The Big Short to be nominated there is just. Wow.
Okay, good. I didn't understand that. Anything else of note that sort of piqued your fancy last night?
Well, I think it's interesting that The Revenant is winning all these awards. Not that it doesn't deserve to. And I'm shocked by how well it did at the box office this weekend because this is a brutal, violent, hard R-rated film with not a whole lot of dialogue, a lot of action for sure. It's a period piece. It's slow. It's a very good movie. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that it did so well at the box office and now that it's doing so well, I think Leonardo DiCaprio did deserve to win. I think Alejandro G. Iñárritu for director does deserve to win. For Best Picture, though, that's tough. Again, I don't know if it's going to have, for the reasons I mentioned, I don't think the Oscars are going to love it as much, but I found it interesting. It did as well as it did.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. It just doesn't really trip my fan. It looks like a pretty disturbing movie.
Yeah, let me tell you this. I had no desire to see it. It's one of those things that I went into. First of all, Alejandro Iñárritu directed Birdman last year. I hated Birdman. I was not a fan of that at all. And I thought the directing was very heavy-handed. What annoyed me there really works well here. He really, you can tell he's a master of his craft, and it's fantastic. But even more than that, just you think it's this story of Leonardo DiCaprio out in the woods, wilderness, surviving a bear attack and crawling around for 2 hours. But it's really, somehow it's a lot more than that. And I really would recommend, if you have the stomach for a lot of hardcore violence, to go see it.
All right, there you go. Jason Nathanson, just getting ready for awards season, recapping the Golden Globe. The big news, that St. Louis and John Hamm wins Best Actor. Jason, thanks for checking in.
Thank you.
You got it.